So in this video, I'm going to introduce to you a midpoint formula. Some of you probably have seen this formula before or used it, so it's not going to be that new. But why do I need it? I need it because let's say there's 2 points anywhere in space or on a coordinate grid, and if it's not a completely horizontal or a completely vertical line, then locating the middle of this line is difficult. Yes, I can eyeball it. It's probably around here, but you don't know if it's going to fall exactly at a given point or there's going to be decimals. So what we have to realize is the midpoint is simply the middle of the segment. And the middle of anything, if you have two things and you're trying to find the middle of it, it's just an average. So what I'm actually going to do is label these points. So this point at E is at -1, 1, 2, 3, -1, -3, and F is at -7. So it's at 3, 7. Okay, so if I want to locate the middle of this, all I'm simply doing is averaging them. But how do I average them? I average my x's first, so I'm going to take -1 plus 3, and I'm going to divide by 2. And I'm going to take my y's, which are 7 plus -3 divided by 2, and then I'm going to do it. So 3 plus -1 is 2 over 2, and 7 is 4 over 2. So my midpoint ends up being 1, 2, which we realize looked good, but we don't know if that's exact unless we calculate the math. So for your midpoint formula, it is the average of your x's and the average of your y's. So it's x1 plus x2 over 2, y1 plus y2 over 2. Since it's addition, it does not matter if you take -1 plus 3 or 3 plus -1. It's irrelevant since it's addition. So let's see if you can try this one by yourself, and then we'll go over it. So please pause the video. So for this one, I'm going to do it quickly. 7 plus 9 divided by 2 is 16, divided by 2 is 8. So 8, comma, and then -5 plus -1 divided by 2 is -6 over 2 is -3. One thing to remember is that a midpoint has to be written as a midpoint, and there has to be written as an ordered pair or a point. So please remember that. Let's look at the next one. So the next one is just working backwards. If M is the midpoint of AB, so if I sketch a picture and put AB and I put M in the middle, then I give you the coordinates of A, which are 1, 2, and I give you the coordinates of M, which is the midpoint, and I'm asking you for endpoint XY. So if you think of it logically, it's really 3 has to be the average of 1 plus some number x. So if we put that into math, the average of 1 plus x, that's how we take an average, has to give you a 3. If that's the case, to solve this, I multiply by 2 on the bottom. I get 1 plus x equals 3, and I subtract, and x is 2. Then I'm going to do the same thing, but with the y's. If 5 has to be the average of 2 plus some number divided by 2, or since that's an average, you divide by 2. So I multiply by 2, and I get 2 plus y equals 10, and y is 8. Again, since it's an endpoint, my answer is 2, 8, written as an ordered pair. You can almost do this in your head. You don't have to use the formula, but it helps, especially if you are dealing with negative numbers. It might get a little more confusing. So go ahead, pause the video, and try this one on your own, and then I'll go over the answer. M is the midpoint of AB. I have A is -2, 3. M, which is your midpoint, is 1, 0, and B is what we're trying to find, XY. So the midpoint 1 must be the average of your x's, so that's what it means to average something, equals 1, -2 plus x equals 2, x equals 4. Then I'm going to do the y's, which is 3 plus y over 2, that's the average, has to equal 0. 3 plus y equals, when I multiply by 2, it's 0, and 3 equals, y equals negative 3. So my answer is 4 comma negative 3. Okay, and hopefully we can start practicing that tomorrow in class.